Even after 1500 hours, I still wake up every day craving that hit of Nightreign like it was the first time all over again. I often jokingly say to my friends that I need this game. It's not that far from the truth. I yearn for it when I'm not playing, then comfort and excitement when I do play, and a sense of longing and attachment after playing. It feels like I'm in a push and pull intense relationship with Nightreign, and judging by my comment sections and the members of my community, I am not alone in this. The question I've asked myself many times is, why? Why do I feel like this? Why am I so in love with Nightreign? Over the course of both my time spent playing and making videos, I've thought a lot about the answer. What I found isn't something I can express easily in a single sentence. It's a rich, deep experience tied to feelings of community, self-improvement, challenge, and intuitive design that's turned difficulty into comfort without sacrificing either. At the core of Nightreign, there is a sentimental experience that draws us back to Limfeld time and time again. After 8 videos, I finally feel like I have the words to describe what made me fall in love with the game. I've also realized it's not the kind of thing I can explain by just reviewing it or giving it a bullet list of pros and cons, because the reason we're in love with the game is not a list of facts, but an intimate emotional experience. So today, I want to take you on a journey with me through the experience of a Nightreign run. I want to share how it feels to move through the game from beginning to end, describing the emotional highs and lows, how they change over time, and ultimately, how the game changes us. With that said, get your relics ready, lock in your Nightfare, and let's commence expedition. It all starts with the intro cutscene, the one where you walk out with your homies, readying up and jumping on the Spectral Hawk onto your epic journey in Limfeld. Seeing my team walking with me has always evoked a sense of camaraderie, and this sense of collectiveness is one of the biggest factors for my obsession with the game. I am too used to the sense of isolation other Souls games often bring about, and all of a sudden, I get to start out this adventure with strangers. Strangers who are willing to take a chance in us. It feels special, and it sets the tone for the rest of the journey. When you load into an expedition on your Spectral Hawk, the first thing that occupies your attention is orientation, where you're going to drop in the map, looking around to locate points of interests, gathering information on your teammates' builds and relics, and mentally preparing yourself for the immediate action once you land. When you do land at the starting camp, team dynamics rapidly form as you move. Is there someone taking the lead? Is everyone sharing the same etiquette around weapons and talismans? How do we work as a team? If you're new to the game, this is where you might immediately start to feel a bit overwhelmed. There is no waiting time, no idle space for you to carefully comb through your options. It is now or never. You have to quickly familiarize yourself with your own character controls, their skills and dodges, the way they move, and how they interact with the environment. You also need to adjust to environmental cues like music, ambiance, enemy AI, etc. After an obscene amount of hours, I can easily decide on a first day route before we even land onto the lands of Limfeld, because there has been a formed routine and pattern recognition that drastically shorten this orientation process. But when you are new, everything is equally unknown. You're unable to seek patterns just yet, unable to instantly distinguish exactly what information is worth registering or ignoring. If you come from other Souls games like Elden Ring, you might also carry the habit of methodically killing every enemy you see, neglecting the actual bosses that provide runes and major advancements in Nightreign. The middle part of this narrative is when you begin to lock into this flow state, when you have team dynamics and general combat flow figured out. You have more or less fallen into a team formation after 1 or 2 points of interests. You begin to build an evaluation system, your character's health pool, stamina bar, damage levels, as well as your preferred playstyle. The more practice you have with this, the more accurate your assessment becomes. This is something that often happens subconsciously, but is incredibly important to your sense of agency in the game. You start to intuitively understand how many hits you can survive, how many times you can chain dodge before you run out of stamina, just how long and how much distance your flasks can carry you in the rain, etc. The more accustomed you are to your character, the more freeing it can feel to move through the map. You also start to realize that time is of the essence in this game, and the question turns from can we kill this to can we kill this in time. All of this is passive game knowledge that comes from practice, from trial and error. It is also worth noting that Nightreign's structure of having day bosses marks a critical point in this middle section of your journey. I'm sure many of us have definitely had experiences with teammates where they start the game heading in a complete different direction from the rest of the team. You can spend the entire first day wondering what their deal is, but the minute the rain starts closing in on the day 1 boss, the moment of convergence happens. The three of you are forced into the same arena, and you really get a solid moment here to reintegrate. It's a small second chance in a way, offering your team a moment of cohesion and a gentle reminder to work together. As the rain recedes into day 2, you start the mental orientation process all over again, taking pause to consider your current levels, where you are on the map, what is reasonable to do in a day's time, and what other necessities you might need before the Night Lord, such as specific elemental weapons, churches for flasks, or mines for smithing stones. Even for players who are very, very new to the game, day 2 is often where you start to get a sense of how the game works, and the general scope of game knowledge needed to smooth out the experience. Day 2 is always my favorite part of the game, as most of my teammates' builds have come online and we get to fight the tougher bosses and polish off our builds. We almost always move together as a team, helping each other out in completing our builds, and this is where teamwork really starts to shine. You get a glimpse of what the final Night Lord fight is going to be like, and the anticipation motivates us to get through the day 2 boss. Night 2 bosses can sometimes be a run-ender, but generally, if all goes well, the climax of this journey is the final Night Lord. The Spirit Shelter gives you a moment to regroup, take inventory of your weapons and consumables, your much-needed bathroom and water break before you brace yourself for the final boss. The Battle of the Night Lord itself is only a small part of this ending. If it is your first time seeing the Night Lord, the danger of the unknown keeps you on your toes, and for certain Night Lords, your frame rates as well. But after many runs, these Night Lords can become part of the comfort routine as well. You can try out different builds, different characters, and different team compositions to bring fresh elements to the fight. Whether you had an incredibly smooth and confident fight or a long and tedious one, each run feels different. I love the triumph of eradicating the Night Lords in under a minute with overpowered builds, but the thing that really keeps me feeling alive is those clutch moments. Moments where both your teammates are down and you're literally holding your breath, tuning into your senses and reflexes to either finish off the Night Lord or reviving your team in the midst of the Night Lord's chase. When I do manage to pull it off, the pride of what I have just accomplished overwhelms me as I stand and soak in the joy. Then you end on the summary page no matter what. You sit in the emotional state of the last 40-ish minutes and reflect on either your success or loss, evaluating the overall gameplay experience. This is usually where the urge of a replay happens. If you win, the high of triumph pushes you to relive that experience. And if you lose, the sense of vengeance pushes you to run it back. You either immediately hop onto another run and restart this game loop, or take a moment to adjust your relics, hoping to give yourself a better chance. From Software games have always been so great at giving us, the players, great sense of agency, and Nightreign is no exception. As I wrote the script detailing the entire journey of a Nightreign run, I found myself amazed by the depth of experience in each run. I'd felt it intuitively, of course, but putting it into words really gave me a profound sense of appreciation for the game's design. And it also gave me a realization. The spirit of the game itself and how its seemingly random nature compared to the rest of the Souls games is actually a thesis on Soulsborne games themselves. In the Souls universe, you have always just been a tiny, insignificant part of it. The world around you is dying, and you awake with a purpose to restore, to improve these conditions. You set out on a mission, meeting other passengers in these chance encounters, and finding your path in an intrinsically lonely journey. You'd think the end result of these missions end in prosperity, but most of the time, things don't change. You're just another person holding the line and stretching the doomed fate of this dying universe. But why do we do it? What is the point if the outcome is almost predetermined? The point is that the change happens within you, not the world. Nightreign maximizes this point because there is no true outcome. There's end credits, of course, but you'd start right back at the very beginning every time you commence a new expedition. Yet, it feels rewarding, because the real thing that changes between the runs is you. Every time a run ends, whether I win or lose, my brain is always exploding with these ideas of what I could have done better, what I will do next time. I know I'm not alone in this either. Half the time I'm on call with the community, we're discussing and dissecting our runs instead of actually playing. Then, when we do start another run, we excitedly call out to each other, "Hey, look, I did the thing I was theorizing about and it worked." Or, "Wow, it turns out my idea didn't work at all. Let's try again next time." We thrive in turning these hypothetical builds into reality. So even though the game has remained the same, we've changed and grown together so much every single day. So, as much as Nightreign is limited in its seed options and boss varieties, no runs are truly the same. As Heraclitus once said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." The thing that makes the challenge worth doing is you, the growth you experience, and the bonds we forge throughout the nights. I will leave this with you for now. See you on the next expedition. This video took almost a month of scripting to get done, as it felt like the culmination of a lot of my feelings on the subject. Because it took so long though, I felt disconnected from you guys and wanted to provide more regular updates, behind the scenes content, and let you all know what's coming in the future. There's also other thoughts and reflections on my previous videos that didn't quite fit on YouTube either. That's why I've decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on something I've been thinking about for a while now. I'm excited to announce that I've launched the Minty Mermaid Patreon for those who want to support the channel and see more of what I'm working on that doesn't quite fit on the channel. I wanted to make sure to provide something immediate for those joining, so as of today, you can find my entire video library with my director's notes on each release up until now. I've also written and posted my channel white paper where I go into more detail about what's next for this channel creatively, what I'll be working on in the future, and what's on top of mind for me now. In addition to the content you'll find there, you'll also get your name in the credits of my video as one of the producers of this channel. If you'd like to support the channel, I'd love to see you there, and if not, that's okay too. Even just knowing people have taken the time of day to watch my video makes me more grateful than I can express. I hope to see you all in the next video, and until then, bye.